Have you ever felt like success is something meant for everyone else, but not for you? Like no matter how hard you try, you're always one step behind. Tired, stuck, and wondering if it's too late? I've been there. But what if I told you success isn't a secret kept from you? It's a power buried inside you. And today, we're going to unlock it. Together. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt proud of yourself? Not the kind of pride that comes from applause or praise, but the deep, soul-level pride that whispers, "Yes, I'm finally becoming who I was meant to be." For a long time, I didn't know what that felt like. I was just surviving, waking up, doing the same things, feeling the same frustrations, and watching life pass by like a train I kept missing. I used to scroll through stories of successful people with a mix of envy and disbelief. How did they get there? What did they know that I didn't? Was it luck? Talent? Connections? I had no roadmap, no mentor, no secret formula. Just a tired body, a noisy mind, and a heart full of silent questions. But then I found this book, The Secret of Success, written over a century ago, but it felt like it was written just for me. And maybe, just maybe, for you too. You see, William Walker Atkinson didn't talk about overnight riches or magical shortcuts. He spoke about truth, about the inner laws of power, about the strength we all carry, hidden beneath layers of fear, doubt, and distraction. And as I read his words, something in me woke up, a flicker of belief, a quiet voice saying, "You can do this." That's why I created this audiobook, because I want to pass on the same fire that lit me up. I want to speak directly to your spirit, to the part of you that's tired of settling and ready to rise. This isn't just a summary of an old book. This is a conversation between you and me, between your present self and your future self, between the version of you that's been surviving and the version that's ready to succeed. And no, I'm not going to tell you it'll be easy. This journey takes work, but it's not the kind of work that breaks you. It's the kind that builds you. So if you've been feeling like you're stuck at the starting line, if you've been grinding with nothing to show for it, if a part of you wants to give up, let me remind you, you are not broken. You are not too late, and you are not alone. You're exactly where you need to be to hear this message. Right now, right here, with me. We're going to walk through 13 powerful lessons together, not just with words, but with heart. I'll guide you, challenge you, and remind you that success is not reserved for the lucky. It's claimed by the committed. By the end of this journey, you won't just know the secret, you'll feel it in your bones. And more importantly, you'll live it. So take a deep breath, put your phone on silent, turn up the volume, and lean in. Because this is your turning point. Are you ready? Let's begin. Chapter 1. Success starts in the mind, the power of thought. Let's start with something simple, but life-changing. Your thoughts are not just thoughts. They are forces. Invisible, yes, but powerful enough to shape your reality. You've heard this before, right? Think positive, mind over matter. Change your thoughts, change your life. But maybe like me, you thought it was just motivational fluff, until life proved otherwise. See, when you truly understand that your thoughts are the root of your circumstances, that your mind is the soil and your life is the fruit, you begin to take your thinking seriously. William Walker Atkinson said it best. All that a man achieves or fails to achieve is the direct result of his own thoughts. Let that sink in. You're not just a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of them. Brick by brick, belief by belief, thought by thought. And here's the real kicker. Most people go their entire lives without realizing they're the ones holding the blueprint. They wait for a miracle, a breakthrough, a rescue, but they never pause to inspect the silent thoughts shaping their days. So let me ask you, what do you think about when no one's watching? When you're not trying to impress, not performing, just thinking? Do your thoughts uplift you or diminish you? Are they filled with confidence or comparison, hope or hesitation? Here's what I've learned. If your dominant thoughts are fear, doubt, guilt, shame, then even the best opportunities will feel like threats. You'll sabotage the job you prayed for. You'll ruin the relationship you manifested. You'll reject the abundance that tries to enter your life because deep down, your mind never made room for it. And it's not your fault. We were raised by wounded people, taught to shrink, to settle, to stay safe. But today, you become conscious. Today, you start choosing your thoughts like a warrior chooses weapons. Because the war is within. That's what Atkinson meant when he said, "The man who thinks success magnetizes success." This isn't magic. This is cause and effect. Your thoughts create feelings. Your feelings drive behavior, and your behavior produces results. You want new results? You need new behaviors. You want new behaviors? You must feel differently. And to feel differently, you must think differently. That's the chain. Break it at the top and everything below it changes. Let me share a story. There was a man, let's call him Elijah. He grew up poor, in a place where success was a foreign language. No one owned a business. No one spoke about dreams, just survival. But Elijah was different. At 13, he read a single line in a book. You become what you think about. That line haunted him, so he tested it. He started visualizing himself wearing a suit, owning a store, helping his community. Every morning before school, he'd stand in front of a cracked mirror and say, "I'm a successful businessman. I build wealth. I bless others." People laughed. Even his mother told him to be realistic. But Elijah didn't stop. And by 25, he opened his first grocery store. By 30, he owned 4. Not because he was lucky, not because he had investors, but because he believed before the evidence showed up. He changed his thoughts, and his thoughts changed his world. Now, you may not want to own stores, but the principle is the same. Thought is the seed, and you are the sower. The question is, what are you planting? Here's a truth you must accept. The mind will grow whatever you plant. Fear or faith, scarcity or abundance, victimhood or victory. It doesn't judge. It just obeys. And once the seed is planted, you water it with repetition. Say it with me. I am the master of my mind. My thoughts create my future. Repeat that every morning, every night. Not as a wish, but as a command, because eventually your mind will believe you. And once it believes, the world will begin to shift. Not overnight, but day by day. Your confidence will rise. Your eyes will open to new paths. And slowly, success will become less of a fantasy and more of a natural result. But it all starts here, in the unseen, with a single thought. So if today you feel stuck, small, afraid, pause, breathe, and remember this. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not your mistakes. You are potential, waiting to be activated. And the activation switch is thought. So choose wisely, speak boldly, think powerfully, because success starts in the mind. Reflection questions. What are the 3 most dominant thoughts you've had today? Are they moving you closer to success or further from it? What one thought can you start repeating daily to rewire your future? Life advice. Change your internal dialogue. Affirm success, even when you don't see it yet, because your future self is already listening and waiting for you to believe. Chapter 2. The Law of Mental Attraction. Why you attract what you are. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you are. I know, that may sound harsh at first, but it's one of the deepest truths I've ever learned, and one that William Walker Atkinson made crystal clear. He said, like attracts like, thought attracts thought, mind attracts mind, and that means you are a magnet. Whether you realize it or not, you are pulling people, situations, and opportunities toward you every day, not with your effort, but with your energy, not with your words, but with your state of being. So if your inner world is full of lack, anger, insecurity, and fear, you'll start to notice more of those things showing up. Toxic relationships, financial pressure, chaotic situations. It's not punishment. It's a mirror. The outer world is always reflecting the inner world. Always. I used to chase money, chase attention, chase love, thinking that the more I did, the more I'd receive. But I was wrong. Because doing doesn't matter if your being is off. You see, success doesn't come to disparity people. It comes to people who are aligned, confident, clear, whole. And that's what this chapter is about. Becoming the version of you that naturally attracts success. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you walk into a room. There are two people standing in opposite corners. One is slouched, head down, eyes full of doubt. The other is standing tall, calm, grounded, present. You feel drawn to one more than the other, don't you? That's energy. That's vibration. That's the law of mental attraction in motion. So what does this mean for you? It means you don't need to chase anything. You need to become the kind of person that what you desire is drawn to. If you want peace, embody peace. If you want wealth, embody abundance. If you want love, embody wholeness. You must become before you receive. This isn't just about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about unlearning everything that's been dimming your light. The doubts, the traumas, the limiting beliefs. You weren't born to be broke, anxious, or invisible. You were born to shine, to radiate, to magnetize greatness. But the magnet only works when you're aligned. So how do you align? Start by tuning into your dominant vibration. Ask yourself, what do I believe about money? Really? How do I react when good things happen? Do I secretly feel unworthy of success? Awareness is everything, because you can't shift what you don't see. And once you see it, you can begin the transformation. Here's what I recommend. Every morning, before you check your phone or rush into the world, take 5 minutes to tune in. Close your eyes, breathe, and say, I am a magnet for growth, peace, and opportunity. I am aligned with the highest version of myself. What I seek is already seeking me. Say it slowly. Say it with emotion. Say it until your body believes it. Because once you believe it, the world has no choice but to believe it too. Let me tell you a story. A woman named Alina used to work 3 jobs, barely slept, always stressed. She said, I just need a break, something to change. But nothing ever did, until she stopped begging and started becoming. She made a decision. Every day, she would carry herself like a wealthy woman. Not in luxury or ego, but in energy. She walked with dignity, spoke with grace, made decisions with confidence. Even when her bank account said $35, she acted like her future already existed. Within 3 months, she was offered a remote job paying twice her income. 6 months later, she started her own consulting business. Was it coincidence? Or was it attraction? She didn't chase success. She aligned with it. You can do the same. But remember, you don't attract what you say you want. You attract what you believe you deserve. So ask yourself, what am I attracting right now? And what does that say about how I see myself? If you don't like the answer, don't panic. Don't beat yourself up. Just shift. One thought at a time. One belief at a time. One morning routine at a time. Because the version of you who already has what you want, they're not far away. They're within you, waiting to be activated. William Walker Atkinson taught us that the mind is magnetic. And every time you elevate your thinking, you adjust your frequency. And when you adjust your frequency, you start to attract not from desperation, but from divine alignment. So today, stop chasing. Start becoming. Stop wishing. Start believing. And know this, when your mind is clear, focused, and powerful, the world rearranges itself to meet you. Reflection questions. What emotions do you carry most often? Peace, stress, fear, or joy? What kind of people and situations have you been attracting lately? What's one belief about yourself you're ready to upgrade? Life advice. You don't need to change the world. You need to change you. Because once your vibration rises, everything else follows. Chapter 3. The will to do. Building the habit of action. You've dreamed enough. You've planned enough. You've waited long enough. Now, It's time to move, to act, to do. Because all the belief in the world means nothing if you don't take action. This is what William Walker Atkinson calls the will to do. And it's not about busyness. It's not about being in constant motion, chasing random goals. It's about developing a focused, disciplined, and unstoppable force within yourself that moves you forward, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when nobody's clapping. You know that moment when motivation wears off? When the excitement fades? When you're tempted to quit? That's when the will to do steps in. It's the difference between a wish and a decision, between a fantasy and a future. Anyone can want success, but only the few with the will to do actually achieve it. So let me ask you, are you willing to do what it takes after the mood to do it is gone? If you are, that's when things change. But let's get honest here. Most people don't fail because they're not smart enough. They fail because they don't follow through. They read the books, take the courses, watch the YouTube videos, but they never take consistent, uncomfortable, unglamorous action. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect feeling, the perfect plan. But guess what? The perfect time never comes. Success belongs to those who start and keep going in spite of the imperfect. So what builds this kind of willpower? Two things: clarity and discipline. Let's start with clarity. You must know why you're doing what you're doing. Not just the surface level stuff. Not just, I want more money. Dig deeper. Why do you want that money? To provide for your family? To escape financial stress? To finally feel free? Your why is your fire. If it's weak, your will is weak. But if your why burns bright, your will becomes unstoppable. Now, discipline. Discipline is doing what you promised yourself, even after the feeling that made the promise is gone. Discipline is waking up early, even when you're tired. It's sticking to your budget, even when temptation whispers. It's showing up for your goals, even when nobody's watching. Discipline is the backbone of the will. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Deji, a struggling artist, broke, depressed. He believed in his vision, but he couldn't get himself to follow through. One day, he made a vow: I will paint for 1 hour every single day, no matter what. It didn't matter if he was inspired or not. It didn't matter if his art sold or not. He just showed up, day after day, week after week. At first, nothing happened. But then, people started to notice. His skills sharpened, his confidence grew, and one of his pieces went viral online. Today, he runs a 6-figure art business because he honored his will, not his feelings, his will. You have that power too, but it must be trained. The will to do is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The more you give in to excuses, the weaker it gets. So stop negotiating with your potential. Stop waiting to feel like it. Do it because you said you would. Do it because your future depends on it. And when you fall because you will fall, get back up. That's part of the will too. Resilience, persistence, the refusal to quit. Because here's the truth. Success isn't for the smartest. It's for the most consistent, not the most gifted, but the most disciplined. Not the loudest, but the most committed. So what's one thing you know you need to do, but keep avoiding? Make that call? Start that business? Write that book? Break that habit? Do it today. Do it scared. Do it tired. Do it without applause. But do it. Because the more you act, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the more action you take. It's a cycle, and it all begins with a choice. To stop waiting and start doing. Reflection questions. What's one action you've been avoiding that could change everything? How can you make discipline a daily part of your identity? What would your life look like 6 months from now if you committed today? Life advice. Start small, but start now. Success doesn't come from massive effort once. It comes from tiny, consistent effort over time. Build the muscle. Honor your word. Develop the will, because those who do are the ones who win. Chapter 4. Don't wait for opportunity. Create it. Let me be honest with you. If you're sitting around waiting for an opportunity to find you, you'll wait forever. Because the truth is, opportunity doesn't knock. You build the door. William Walker Atkinson made this clear over a century ago. The people who succeed are not the ones waiting for lucky breaks. They're the ones creating conditions that make success inevitable. Now ask yourself, have you been waiting? Waiting for someone to see your worth. Waiting for the economy to change. Waiting for the right time. Waiting until you feel ready. I get it. I used to wait too. I told myself things like, when I have more money, then I'll start. When I have more time, then I'll go for it. When I feel more confident, then I'll speak up. But those moments never came. Because confidence doesn't come before action. And the right time is now. Let me repeat that for your future self. The right time is now. Opportunity isn't hiding somewhere out there. It's buried in your effort, your consistency, your initiative. And it only reveals itself when you move. Think of opportunity like soil. It's everywhere. But unless you plant something, nothing grows. No farmer sits around hoping crops magically appear. They plow, they plant, they water, they work, and eventually, the harvest comes. The same principle applies to your life. If you want more, you have to do more. Think more. Risk more. You must take what you've got, your skills, your story, your scars, and create something. But here's where most people get stuck. They think opportunity looks like a big spotlight moment. A phone call from a billionaire, a viral video, a golden chance that changes everything. But opportunity rarely comes dressed in gold. It shows up in quiet, unglamorous moments. Like a random idea that won't go away. A stranger you meet on a train. A task you feel unqualified for, but decide to try anyway. Most people miss opportunity. Not because it wasn't there, but because they didn't recognize it. That's why you can't afford to sit still. You must become a maker of opportunities, a creator, an initiator. So how do you do that? You start where you are, with what you have. Right now, let me tell you a story. There was a young woman named Freya. She lived in a rural town with no connections, no capital, no guidance. Just a passion for cooking and a dream of one day owning a food business. Everyone told her to wait, get a proper job first, build savings, maybe one day when the conditions are right. But Freya didn't wait. She took the little she had, about $50 worth of ingredients, and began cooking meals from her tiny kitchen. She sold to neighbors, then to nearby offices. Then she launched a social media page with nothing but her phone. In less than a year, she went from broke and unknown to feeding over 500 customers a week and earning over $1,500 monthly. No one gave her a big break. She created a string of small breaks until they added up to something huge. That's the formula. Start small. Start now. Start scared. But start. Because the world isn't waiting to give you a handout. It's waiting to respond to your movement. Every time you take initiative, you send a signal to the universe, to people, to life. And life responds. But if you do nothing, you attract nothing. Remember this. People don't invest in your potential. They invest in your momentum. So what can you create today? A blog post? A prototype? A pitch? A product? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. It just has to be in motion. And here's another truth. Opportunity often disguises itself as hard work. It's the overtime nobody sees. The free gig that leads to a paid one. The cold email that starts a chain reaction. The messy first version of your dream. So while others wait for a spotlight, you build a fire. You become undeniable. You show up so powerfully that opportunity has no choice but to notice you. William Walker Atkinson put it beautifully. Don't stand still, waiting for opportunity. Move forward, and opportunity will meet you halfway. That's not just a quote, that's a law. You want to grow? You want to thrive? You want to change your story? Then get to work. Build the door. Make the call. Start the thing. Because you never know. The moment you move might be the moment everything begins to shift. Reflection questions. What have you been waiting for that you could start creating instead? What skills, passions, or resources do you already have that could be turned into opportunity? What small step can you take today to prove to yourself you're done waiting? Life advice. Success doesn't fall into your lap. It grows in the soil of action. Create the door. Knock on it. And if no one opens, kick it down with consistency. Because when you stop waiting and start creating, the game changes forever. Chapter 5. The Power of Self-Confidence. Trusting your inner strength. Let me ask you something deeply personal. When was the last time you truly believed in yourself? Not because someone clapped for you, not because the results proved it, but because you looked in the mirror and said, "I am enough." For most people, that kind of belief feels far away because we've been conditioned to doubt, to second guess, to shrink ourselves just to feel safe. But William Walker Atkinson made one thing clear. Self-confidence isn't arrogance. It's alignment. It's trusting your own inner power, even when the world hasn't caught up to your vision yet. He wrote, "Believe in yourself, and the world will believe in you." And he meant it. Because confidence is contagious. Confidence is magnetic. Confidence is currency. So let's talk about where it really comes from. It doesn't come from compliments. It doesn't come from trophies or likes or praise. True self-confidence comes from one place: keeping promises to yourself. You said you'd wake up early. Did you? You said you'd go to the gym. Did you? You said you'd launch the business. Write the book. Start the plan. Did you? Every time you honor your word, you deposit trust into your internal bank account, and that trust becomes confidence. That's why the most confident people are also the most disciplined. They don't need external validation because they already know who they are. Let me tell you a quick story. There was a man named Malik. He was talented, but always hiding in the shadows. Afraid to speak up, afraid to lead, afraid to be seen. He used to say, "I'm just not a confident person." But one day, a mentor told him, confidence isn't something you have. It's something you build. So Malik made a small promise to himself. "I will do one uncomfortable thing every day." He started small, introducing himself to strangers, making eye contact, volunteering to speak. He didn't fake it. He faced it. Within 6 months, he was leading workshops. In a year, he launched a company, all because he built his confidence like a muscle. You can do the same. But first, you have to understand what's been killing your confidence. Here are 3 silent assassins. Comparison. Scrolling through social media, measuring your beginning against someone else's middle. Stop it. You're running a race that's uniquely yours. Negative self-talk. That voice that says, "Who do you think you are?" Silence it and replace it with, "Who am I not to try?" Waiting for permission. You don't need anyone's approval to be great. You don't need a certificate to trust your own journey. Confidence is not a crown handed to you. It's a decision you make every single day. Now here's the beautiful part. The more you act confidently, the more confident you become. You don't have to feel confident to start. You have to start so confidence can grow. That's what Atkinson meant when he said, "Act as if you cannot fail, and you will not." It's not delusion. It's direction. It's choosing to lead with belief, even when doubt tries to tag along. So what does that look like practically? Here's a quick blueprint to build unshakable confidence. Step Ishi. Keep micro promises. Tell yourself, "I will drink 3 glasses of water today," and do it. "I will spend 10 minutes on my dream today," and do it. Stack those wins. Step 2. Change your physiology. Confidence lives in the body. Shoulders back. Chin up. Breathe deeply. Stand like someone who matters because you do. Step 3. Affirm your power. Say it out loud. "I trust myself. I can figure things out. I am worthy of success." Not because it's easy to believe, but because repetition rewires reality. Step 4. Take bold, imperfect action. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be willing. Willing to fail. Willing to learn. Willing to grow. Let me make this clear. You don't need to become someone else to be confident. You don't need to be louder, richer, prettier, or more talented. You just need to become fully yourself and own it. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It's the refusal to let fear make decisions for you. So even when you feel afraid, walk in, speak up, raise your hand, apply for the thing, launch the idea, make the move. And know this, every step forward, no matter how small, is a vote for the future you want. Reflection questions. What's one area of your life where you've been playing small? What promise can you make to yourself today and actually keep? What belief about yourself needs to change for your confidence to rise? Life advice. Confidence is built in the shadows. In the quiet moments where no one is watching, trust your power, train your mind, and walk like someone who belongs in the room, because you do. Chapter 6. The habit of persistence. How to keep going when it gets hard. Let's be real. There's a point in every journey where everything inside you screams, maybe I should just quit. The effort feels heavy. The progress feels slow. The results feel invisible. But that's the test. That's the moment the universe leans in and asks, how bad do you want this? Because anyone can start. Anyone can be excited in the beginning. But success belongs to those who stay in the game even when it stops being exciting. William Walker Atkinson called this persistence. Not just effort, not just hard work, but continued, disciplined, focused effort over time. Persistence is what separates the talkers from the doers, the dabblers from the masters, the almost from the achievers. So let me ask you, are you committed to your goals or just interested? Because when you're interested, you do it when it's convenient. But when you're committed, you do it even when it's hard. And trust me, it'll get hard. You'll face rejection, doubt, delay, failure. But every successful person you admire, they've walked through that fire, and the only reason you know their name is because they refused to stop. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Thomas. He started a small online business selling handmade journals. At first, orders trickled in. Then, silence. 3 months, no sales. 6 months, still nothing. He almost shut it down. But something inside him whispered, keep going, you're close. So he doubled down on quality, improved his branding, posted content daily, even when nobody liked or commented. And in month 10, yes, 10, a major influencer discovered his work. One post, and his brand exploded. He went from 2 orders a week to over 1,000 orders in a single month, and all because he persisted. Most people would have quit at month 6, maybe even month 3, but not Thomas, and not you. Because you're not just chasing a dream, you're becoming the kind of person who sees it through. Now let's be clear. Persistence doesn't mean doing the same thing over and over without learning. It means adapting, reassessing, evolving while staying in motion. Here's how to build the habit of persistence, even when it gets hard. 1. Remember your why. Your goals will fade, but your why will keep you anchored. Why did you start? Who are you doing this for? What pain are you escaping? Or what freedom are you chasing? When the struggle feels unbearable, go back to your why. Write it down. Read it daily. Let it fuel you. 2. Shrink the goal. Stretch the effort. Don't focus on the mountain. Focus on the next step. Instead of launch the business, try email 5 potential clients today. Instead of lose 20 pounds, try go for a 30-minute walk today. Consistency beats intensity. Always. 3. Fall in love with boring. Yep, I said it. The secret to long-term success? Boring, repetitive action. The greatest athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs, they don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems, habits, routines. They show up on the days when it's not exciting, and that's what makes them unstoppable. 4. Track your progress. What gets measured gets managed. Create a simple system to track your wins, even the small ones. Each box you check, each day you show up, it builds momentum, and momentum is a powerful motivator. 5. Expect resistance. Don't be surprised when life pushes back. Expect it. Prepare for it. And when it shows up, say to yourself, this is part of the process. I was built for this. Because you are. Persistence isn't about being perfect. It's about staying in the ring, even when your back's against the wall, even when your legs are shaking, even when the crowd is gone, especially then, because the breakthrough, it's usually one step past the breakdown. That's why most people never taste real success. They quit right before it starts to happen. So don't. Don't quit on the hard day. Don't quit on the lonely day. Don't quit on the slow day. Quit later after you've won. Right now, keep going. And remember this from Atkinson: the persistent man is never a failure. He may not have arrived, but he is on the way. So stay on the way. You're building something real, something valuable, and it takes time. You wouldn't dig up a seed every morning to check if it's growing. You'd water it, nurture it, believe in the unseen. That's what persistence is. Watering your dream, even when it hasn't bloomed yet. Reflection questions. What's one goal you've started and stopped that you know you need to finish? What would persistence look like for you this week? Can you commit to showing up for 30 days, no matter how you feel? Life advice. You don't need to be the fastest or the strongest, just the one who doesn't give up. Because when you stay in the game long enough, you stop playing it and start winning it. Chapter 7. How to Harness Thought Power for Wealth and Success. Here's something nobody taught us in school. Your thoughts are more powerful than your circumstances. Let that sink in. Because what you think, you become. What you dwell on, you attract. And what you consistently imagine, you eventually create. William Walker Atkinson devoted his entire life to this truth. He believed and proved that thought is the most powerful force available to you. More powerful than luck, more powerful than privilege, more powerful than talent. Because if you learn to harness the power of thought, you can change your entire life. Now, I want you to pause and ask yourself, what have I been thinking about most lately? Has it been fear, stress, lack, or abundance, opportunity, possibility? Because here's the truth. Your dominant thoughts become your default reality. Not because of magic, but because of alignment. Thought shapes belief. Belief shapes behavior. Behavior shapes results. So, if you've been focused on everything that's going wrong, if you've been obsessing over what you don't have, what you've lost, who's ahead of you, then don't be surprised when life reflects that exact reality. Your mind is a projector. Your life is the screen. William Walker Atkinson put it like this: thought is a force vital, living, real, and it builds your world. Now that's not just poetic, that's practical. Because if you can master your thinking, you can master your outcomes. Let's break this down with something called mental transmutation. A big word, but a simple idea. You have the power to change low-level thoughts into high-level realities. You can take fear and transmute it into courage. Take doubt and transmute it into determination. Take lack and transmute it into abundance. How? Through intentional, repetitive, focused thought. Let me give you an example. A woman named Clara was drowning in debt over $25,000. Single mom. 2 jobs. No savings. She used to think, I'm stuck. I'll never get out. It's too much. And every time she said that, her actions matched it. She avoided bills, missed opportunities, bought things impulsively, just to feel better. Until one day, she read this book and something shifted. She started repeating a new thought. I am in control. My wealth is growing. My future is mine. At first, it felt like a lie, but she said it anyway, morning, noon, and night. Then she started learning, budgeting, tracking, saving. Fast forward 2 years. She was debt-free, had over $15,000 in savings, and had started a small side hustle selling digital products online. Not because she won the lottery, not because someone saved her, but because she saved herself by changing her thoughts. You can do the same. Because here's the secret. What you consistently impress upon your subconscious becomes your external experience. You don't need to force the world to change. You need to train your mind to expect something different. And once your mind believes it, you'll begin to see it. But here's the catch. You have to do it daily. You can't just think wealthy thoughts once a week and expect your bank account to grow. You can't imagine confidence once and expect your self-esteem to rise. You must practice thought power like a discipline, like brushing your teeth, like working out, like eating right. Here's how to do it. 1. Morning mental conditioning. Before you touch your phone, repeat this. Today, I choose power. Today, I choose clarity. Today, I align with wealth, joy, and peace. Speak it out loud. Let your body hear your intentions. Command your thoughts before the world does. 2. Thought journal. Each night, write down the dominant thought of your day. Did it serve you or sabotage you? Replace any negative theme with a new declaration. Example, I'm behind becomes I'm building at my own divine pace. I'm broke becomes money is flowing to me through multiple channels. 3. Visualization. Spend 5 minutes daily imagining your ideal life. Not just seeing it, feeling it. What would it feel like to earn $10,000 a month? To wake up without financial anxiety? To serve people through your gifts? Your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagined experience. Use that to your advantage. Thought power isn't about fantasy. It's about training your mind to believe a higher truth so your actions can rise to meet it. And when your thoughts and actions align, your results explode. Here's what I want you to remember. You are not your past. You are not your paycheck. You are not your pain. You are the thinker, the creator, the captain of your mental ship. You are the master of thought, and through thought you shape destiny. William Walker Atkinson said, "Success depends almost entirely upon the mental attitude of the individual." So what's your mental attitude right now? Are you approaching life as a victim or as a visionary? Because you are powerful beyond measure. You just have to believe it. Not once, not when it's convenient, but daily, relentlessly, faithfully. And when you do, wealth, success, and joy will follow. Reflection questions. What dominant thoughts have been shaping your current results? What's one belief you're ready to change starting today? How will you remind yourself daily that you are the thinker, not the thought? Life advice. Your thoughts are seeds. Plant wisely, water daily, and never doubt the harvest, even when you can't see it yet, because your best life starts not with effort, but with thought. Chapter 8. Concentration. The hidden superpower of successful people. Let me tell you something that most people overlook. In a world drowning in distractions, the ability to concentrate is a superpower, not talent, not genius, not luck. Concentration. William Walker Atkinson called it one of the greatest secrets of success. Because when your mind is fully focused, you become unshakable. Think about it. How much of your day is scattered? You start one task, then switch to another. You pick up your phone scroll for 15 minutes. You sit to work, but your mind drifts. That's not laziness. That's a lack of concentration. And it's quietly robbing you of your destiny. Here's the truth. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every fortune was born from focused energy, laser focus, a mind that refused to be pulled in every direction. So if you feel like you're working hard but getting nowhere, it's probably not your effort that's the problem. It's your focus. You don't need more hours in the day. You need more presence in the moment. Let me break this down. Atkinson wrote, "The man who is able to concentrate is the man who will succeed." Why? Because energy flows where attention goes. And when your attention is scattered, your energy is too. But when your attention is locked in, you enter a different zone, a flow state, a place where time slows down, clarity increases, and everything feels aligned. That's the power of concentration. It multiplies your productivity. It deepens your creativity. And it magnetizes your results. Let me tell you about David. He was a freelance designer, working with multiple clients. His days were packed. But his income wasn't growing. He'd jump from email to design to social media, then back to email. 12 hours of busyness, but barely 4 hours of real work. Until one day, he made a shift. He blocked his time into 2-hour deep work sessions. Phone off, notifications off, music low, just focus. And within a month, he had doubled his output without adding a single extra hour. That's the hidden power of concentration. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters without distraction. And that requires training. Let me teach you how to sharpen your concentration like a mental athlete. Step N. Eliminate mental clutter. Your brain can't focus if it's overloaded. Before you work, clear the noise. Write down all the random thoughts, worries, or to-dos cluttering your mind. Free up space. Step 2. Set focus intentions. Ask, what am I focusing on for the next hour? Not for the whole day, just the next hour. Name it. Own it. Stick to it. Step 3. Use the 50-10 rule. 50 minutes of pure focus. 10-minute break to rest, stretch, reset, repeat. This trains your brain to go deep and then recover. Step 4. Create a focus environment. Turn off notifications. Put your phone in another room. Use noise-canceling headphones if needed. Let your space support your success. Step 5. Strengthen your mental muscles. Just like a muscle, concentration gets stronger with use. Practice mindfulness. Meditate 5 minutes daily. Read a physical book without switching apps. Train your brain to stay. Now listen closely. If you struggle to concentrate, you're not broken. You're just living in a distracted world. A world that profits from your attention. But you're different. You're reclaiming your mind. You're taking back your focus. Because focus is freedom. It's the power to say no. The power to go deep. The power to do your best work while others are lost in noise. Let me be blunt. If you can't concentrate, you can't create. If you can't create, you can't contribute. And if you can't contribute, you won't feel fulfilled. It's that serious. So make this your mission. Guard your focus like treasure, because it is. Don't waste it on gossip, on endless scrolling, on chasing every shiny object. Instead, channel it into your craft, your business, your health, your wealth, your calling. Because when you concentrate, you accelerate. And William Walker Atkinson knew it. He said, "Learn to concentrate, and you will have learned the greatest secret of success. That secret is now yours." The question is, will you use it? Reflection questions. What's stealing your attention every day, and how can you take it back? What would your life look like if you gave 2 hours a day to focused work? How can you train your mind to go deeper, not wider? Life advice. Success doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing one thing with total presence. Cut the noise, sharpen your focus, and watch how fast your life begins to shift. Chapter 9. Your environment matters. Choose it or change it. Take a moment and look around you. The people, the voices, the energy, the space you live and work in. Now ask yourself, does this environment support my success or sabotage it? William Walker Atkinson was crystal clear on this point. If you surround yourself with negativity, doubt, and mediocrity, you will absorb it whether you want to or not. Your environment is not neutral. It is either feeding your growth or feeding your failure. Let that sink in. Because many people struggle not from lack of effort, but from toxic environments, silent killers of dreams, slow erasers of confidence. You may be working hard, but if your surroundings are filled with people who laugh at ambition, if your room is chaotic and cluttered, if your social media feed is full of envy, drama, or fear, you're fighting a war with weights tied to your ankles. Success is already a challenge. Don't make it harder by living in a space that poisons your mindset. Now, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's about becoming aware. Because once you see how much your environment affects you, you'll stop tolerating spaces and people who shrink you. You'll stop calling it home if it feels like a cage. You'll stop calling them friends if they're secretly rooting against you. You'll stop scrolling just to escape and start building a life you don't want to escape from. Here's a powerful quote from Atkinson. Surround yourself with those who encourage you, not discourage you. Your mental environment is the soil in which your thoughts grow. So let me ask you again, what kind of soil are your dreams growing in? Let me share a quick story. A young man named James had big dreams. He wanted to become a motivational speaker. But his friends, they laughed, called him a clown, mocked him for talking to himself in the mirror. His home life was no better. Every day he heard things like, "Just be realistic. No one from here ever makes it. Who do you think you are?" And for years, he believed it. Until one day, he attended a seminar in a city 3 hours away. For the first time, He was surrounded by people who spoke possibility, people who clapped when he shared his goals, not because he was there yet, but because he dared to believe. That single weekend changed his life. He moved out within 6 months, took online courses, began speaking at schools and churches. Today, he earns over $80,000 a year sharing his story. And all it took was a shift in environment. Now, you may be thinking, but I can't move. I can't change my family. I can't cut everyone off. And you're right. But here's the truth. You don't always have to change your location to change your environment. Sometimes, the first shift is internal. Start here. Curate your digital environment. Unfollow negativity. Mute drama. Fill your feed with inspiration, knowledge, and energy. Every scroll is programming your brain. Make it count. 2. Clean your physical space. Cluttered space. Cluttered mind. Even small improvements matter. Make your desk sacred. Light a candle. Add a quote. Turn it into a creative temple, not a dumping ground. 3. Audit your relationships. Make a list. Who leaves you drained? Who lifts you up? Now act accordingly. You don't need to cut everyone off, but you do need to limit access. You're not being rude. You're being responsible with your future. 4. Build an audio environment. Podcasts, audiobooks, affirmations. You can live in a tiny apartment, but if your ears are full of wisdom, you'll grow like you live in a palace. Make your mind your mansion. Let greatness echo in your ears daily. Remember, you become what surrounds you. Your energy adapts to the dominant energy around you. So choose wisely. If your circle doesn't inspire you, you don't have a circle. You have a cage, but you can escape. You can rebuild. You can find a new tribe online, in books, in mentors, even in silence. Sometimes the best environment is solitude, a quiet space where you can hear your own thoughts again, where no one's judging, no one's rushing, just you and your dreams. William Walker Atkinson said, "Select your environment as carefully as you select your friends." It's not just where you live. It's what you listen to, what you believe, what you tolerate. So take inventory and make a promise. From this day forward, I will not stay where I am not growing. I will not breathe in energy that suffocates my purpose. I will not pretend that toxicity is love. I will create an environment of excellence, internally and externally. Because when your roots are healthy, your results flourish. Reflection questions. Who in your life supports your dreams and who silently resents them? What changes can you make to your room, your feed, or your schedule to support your goals? What boundaries do you need to set to protect your focus? Life advice. Success doesn't grow in toxic soil. Create your own greenhouse. Plant your mind in sunlight and watch what blooms. Chapter 10. The Law of Attraction in Action. Turning belief into reality. You've heard the phrase before, you attract what you are. But what does that really mean? Is it just a motivational quote? Or is it one of the most powerful forces in your life? William Walker Atkinson didn't just believe in the law of attraction. He lived it. And he taught it long before it became a trendy phrase. He described it as the natural law that governs thought, vibration, and results. Simply put, your inner world creates your outer world. Your beliefs shape your reality. Your emotions magnetize experiences. Your energy pulls things toward you. But here's the truth that most people miss. Attraction only works when you're in motion. You can't sit on the couch all day, visualize wealth, and expect $1 million to fall from the sky. It doesn't work that way. The law of attraction is not passive. It's not about wishful thinking. It's about alignment, believing deeply, feeling boldly, and acting decisively. So let's break this down. There are 3 parts to using the law of attraction effectively. 1. Think it. You must think clearly and specifically. Not just, I want more money. Try, I'm attracting $10,000 through meaningful, aligned work. Not just, I want to be happy. Say, I am creating joy by doing what I love, with people who value me. Vague thoughts create vague results. Clear thoughts create focused energy. 2. Feel it. This is the missing link for most people. You can't just say affirmations. You have to feel them. Feel what it's like to have the thing you desire. Let your nervous system experience success before it arrives. Why? Because your subconscious mind responds to emotion, not logic. When you feel wealthy, powerful, confident, you behave differently. You walk differently. You speak differently. And that changes what you attract. 2. Move toward it. Thought without action is daydreaming, but thought yawn, action, creation. You want to attract a new job? Visualize it. Speak it. Then, update your resume. Start networking. Show up with the energy of someone who already got the offer. You want to attract a healthy body? Affirm it. Feel it. Then, move your body. Fuel it. Respect it. The law of attraction is not magic. It's a mirror. And it reflects not just what you think, but what you believe enough to act on. Let me tell you a story. A woman named Layla was working a job she hated. She wanted to start her own skincare line, but she had no funding, no connections, and a lot of fear. She learned about the law of attraction and started saying, "I am a successful business owner. My products change lives." She wrote it, spoke it, felt it, and most importantly, she moved. She began mixing simple recipes in her kitchen, filmed tutorials, started an Instagram page, sold to coworkers. At first, nothing big happened, but she kept going. Within a year, she attracted a local investor, someone who found her online and believed in her vision. Today, her products are stocked in over 40 stores across the country. She didn't wait. She aligned, and the universe responded. So, how do you put the law of attraction into action? Let me give you a 5-step daily ritual. Step 1. Morning visioning. Close your eyes for 3 minutes. Visualize one major goal already achieved. Feel the gratitude. Let it wash over your body like it's real because your mind doesn't know the difference. Step 2. Write your reality. Write a journal entry starting with, "I am so grateful now that," then fill in the blank with your desired future, written as if it's happening today. Example, "I am so grateful now that I earn over $5,000 a month doing what I love." Step 3. Speak power. Speak your affirmations out loud with intensity. Look in the mirror if you can. Let your voice teach your body who you are becoming. Step 4. Take one aligned action. Just one. Email that client. Start the workout. Film the video. Research the investment. Make the move. Let the universe see that you're serious. Step 5. Surrender. Don't force results. Detach from how it comes. Focus on being in alignment and let life surprise you. Now, here's something powerful, Atkinson wrote. Your thoughts are causes, and every condition is an effect. Change the cause, and you change the effect. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. But only when you stop thinking like a victim and start aligning like a visionary. You attract what you believe. You attract what you feel. You attract what you move toward. So if you want a different reality, start thinking, feeling, and behaving like the version of you who already lives it. That version exists right now, inside you, waiting to be chosen. Reflection questions. Are your thoughts, emotions, and actions aligned with the life you want or the life you fear? What limiting belief are you ready to release today? What's one small action you can take right now to signal to the universe that you're serious? Life advice. Don't just wish for it. Align with it. Move toward it. And watch what happens when belief becomes your way of life. Because the law of attraction is always working, the question is, are you working with it or against it? Chapter 11. How to develop magnetic personality and presence. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt drawn to someone? They weren't necessarily the loudest or the best dressed, but something about them just pulled your attention. That is magnetic personality. It's not something you're born with. It's not reserved for celebrities or influencers. It's something you build. And William Walker Atkinson believed it was one of the most powerful success traits you could ever develop. Why? Because we live in a world of people. And people don't just remember what you do, they remember how you make them feel. Your presence matters. Your energy speaks before your mouth does. And if you learn how to radiate confidence, warmth, and clarity, you will unlock doors that effort alone could never open. So let's dive in. What makes someone magnetic? It's not just charisma. It's alignment. When someone's thoughts, emotions, and actions are in harmony, you feel it. They're not trying to impress. They're not performing. They're simply present, real, and rooted in who they are. That's magnetic. Atkinson called it personal magnetism, and he described it as an invisible force that draws people to you, opens opportunities, and multiplies your influence. And here's the best part. You can train it. Let's break it down into practical parts. Authenticity. You can't fake magnetic energy. People are intuitive. They may not know what's off, but they'll feel it. The most magnetic people are deeply themselves. They speak honestly. They move with ease. They're not chasing approval, they own their space. So ask yourself, where am I shrinking myself just to fit in? Where am I pretending to be something I'm not? The more honest you are with yourself, the more people will feel safe being themselves around you. And that's true power. Mental clarity. Confused people don't inspire confidence. If your mind is scattered, your energy is too. Magnetic individuals have direction. They know what they want, and they carry themselves like someone with purpose. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to be clear on who you are becoming. Speak like someone going somewhere, and people will feel it. Emotional regulation. End. Want to be magnetic? Stay calm in chaos. When the world gets loud, magnetic people stay grounded. They don't overreact. They listen deeply. They give others space to be seen and heard. This isn't weakness. It's mastery. Because when you can control your emotions, you gain influence. And that's rare. Tansenfia. Nonverbal power. Over 90% of communication is nonverbal. Your posture, your tone, your eye contact, your stillness. Magnetic people walk tall. They speak slowly and deliberately. They don't fidget or over-explain. They let silence do some of the talking. Want to be more magnetic today? Practice stillness. Stand straight. Hold eye contact just 1 second longer. Watch how people respond. 5. Genuine interest in others. Ironically, the most magnetic people aren't obsessed with being interesting. They're obsessed with being interested. They ask questions. They listen. They remember names. They make others feel seen. That's unforgettable. If you want to stand out, make people feel like they matter, because your presence is your superpower. Now let me tell you a story. A man named Elijah worked at a tech startup. He wasn't the smartest in the room. He didn't have the fanciest degree, but everyone from interns to executives loved him. Why? Because he was magnetic. He remembered birthdays, spoke with warmth, stayed calm under pressure, and always made people feel appreciated. When layoffs came, they kept Elijah. When a leadership role opened, they offered it to Elijah, not because he asked, but because his presence was undeniable. That's the power of personal magnetism. And guess what? You have it too. It's not about changing yourself. It's about activating your real self. It's already in you. It's just been buried under fear, comparison, and doubt. So here's how to awaken it. Daily magnetic ritual. Morning mirror moment. Look yourself in the eye. Say, I radiate confidence. I walk in purpose. I am magnetic, calm, and powerful. 1 act of presence. Each day, choose one person to be fully present with. Put the phone down. Listen. Ask. Connect. Evening energy scan. Before bed, reflect. Was I authentic today? Did I carry my energy with intention? If not, forgive yourself. Then reset for tomorrow. William Walker Atkinson wrote, "Personal magnetism is a force that can be developed by anyone who is willing to discipline the mind, control the emotions, and radiate truth." You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real and intentional. The world is starving for presence, for warmth, for people who know themselves. Be that person, because when you become magnetic, you stop chasing. Opportunities come to you. People lean in. Doors open. Not because you forced it, but because you are it. Reflection questions. Where are you currently holding back your true self, and why? What qualities do the most magnetic people in your life have? How can you practice presence today in just one conversation? Life advice. Your personality is your passport, not the version you pretend to be, but the one you give yourself permission to become. Show up, radiate, connect, because when you're fully you, the world can't look away. Chapter 12. Success is a state of mind. How to embody it every day. Let's get one thing straight. Success isn't just something you achieve. It's something you become. Before it's a number in your bank account, before it's a title or trophy, or breakthrough moment, success is a state of mind. And until you live in that state daily, you will always chase success instead of attracting it. William Walker Atkinson was very clear. All success is first won in the mind and then in the world. That means you don't need permission. You don't need proof. You don't need to make it to feel successful. You need to decide to carry the mindset of success right now, right where you are, even if you're broke, even if you're behind, even if nobody claps for you yet. Because success doesn't begin when people recognize you. It begins when you recognize yourself. So what does that mindset look like? Let me break it down for you. Edge. Ownership over victimhood. Successful people don't blame. They own. They take radical responsibility for their decisions, for their time, for their mindset, even when it's uncomfortable. Why? Because blaming others steals your power, and owning your life restores it. Ask yourself daily, what am I responsible for right now? And then act from that place. Time. Long-term vision over short-term emotions. People stuck in failure live by feelings. People living in success live by principles. When they feel tired, they still show up. When they feel afraid, they still take the step. They don't ask, do I feel like it? They ask, what would the best version of me do right now? Success is a mindset of consistency. A mindset of showing up, especially when it's hard. Harom. Growth over comfort. Most people want change, but they also want to stay comfortable. You can't have both. The success mindset is obsessed with growth. It sees discomfort not as a threat, but as a sign that expansion is happening. Every time you stretch beyond your comfort zone, you become more of who you're meant to be. So make peace with discomfort. It's the doorway to everything you want. Need. Abundance over scarcity. A scarcity mindset says, there's not enough. I'll never have it. Others are ahead of me. But a success mindset says, there's always more. What's meant for me is already mine. I celebrate others because I'm secure in my own path. William Walker Atkinson wrote, success is not about hoarding. It's about expressing, about expanding. So if you want to live in abundance, think abundantly, speak abundantly, give abundantly. Because the more you give, the more you prove that you have. 5. Faith over fear. Fear will always knock, but the success mindset doesn't let it in. It hears fear, acknowledges it, and moves forward anyway, because faith isn't blind. It's bold. It says, I don't have all the evidence, but I believe it's possible. It says, I may fail, but I'll grow. It says, I choose trust even in the unknown. If fear is loud in your life right now, it's time to turn up the volume of faith. Feed it. Fuel it. Live by it. Let me share a story. A woman named Rena had been trying to become a full-time author for years, but every rejection letter chipped away at her confidence. She started to believe she wasn't good enough, that maybe it wasn't meant for her. Until one day, she read the words, success is a state of mind. Something shifted. She realized she was waiting to feel successful instead of living from success. So she made a decision to write every day like her books were already bestsellers, to speak like an author, dress like an author, think like an author. Nothing changed on the outside immediately, but everything changed on the inside. And within 18 months, she signed a publishing deal worth over $50,000. Her first book debuted as a bestseller, not because she got lucky, but because she finally aligned her mindset with her mission. And so can you. Here's how to embody success every single day. Morning success activation. Before your feet hit the floor, say, I am already successful. I move through this day with power, peace, and purpose. Start from success, not for it. 10. Presence check. Throughout the day, ask, am I thinking like a winner or a worrier? Am I reacting or responding? If your mind drifts into negativity, gently return, reset, refocus. Evening reflection. At night, write, how did I embody success today? What lesson did I learn that's making me stronger? Reinforce the mindset daily until it becomes who you are. Because listen to me, you don't need to wait to feel worthy. You don't need a bigger paycheck to walk with power. You don't need applause to believe in your voice. You are already enough. You are already becoming. You are already successful because your mind is made up. William Walker Atkinson said, success is more a matter of mind than of matter. So make up your mind. Decide today, I will no longer think like a victim. I will no longer act from fear. I will no longer chase success. I will become it. Live it. Embody it. Because success isn't some future moment. It's a decision you make every single day. Reflection questions. What does success feel like to you, and are you feeling it now? How can you begin your day from a place of success instead of lack? What daily habits are reinforcing the wrong mindset, and how can you shift them? Life advice. Stop waiting to feel worthy. Start living from the mindset of someone who already is. Because when you carry success inside, the world has no choice but to reflect it. Chapter 13. The final principle. Living the secret of success every day. So here we are. You've walked through 12 powerful chapters, each one revealing a deeper truth about who you are and who you're capable of becoming. Now it's time to bring it all together. Because success isn't a destination. It's not a finish line. It's a way of life. William Walker Atkinson didn't just write about success. He lived it. And his final message was simple, but life-changing. Live the principles, don't just know them. Knowledge is potential, but application is transformation. If you listen to everything we've covered, but don't integrate it into your habits, your thoughts, your choices, then this becomes just another audiobook. But if you take these principles and live them, if you breathe them into your mornings, move through them in your actions, stand in them when life gets loud, you will not just chase success, you will embody it. So how do you live the secret of success every day? Let me give you a final blueprint. Simple, practical, powerful. 1. Live with mental discipline. Every day, your mind will offer you distractions, excuses, old stories. You must choose better. When fear speaks, answer with faith. When doubt whispers, shout back with belief. When laziness knocks open the door with discipline, you are the gatekeeper of your mind. Treat it like the temple it is. Minan, speak with intention. Your words create atmosphere. Around you and within you. Speak life. Speak power. Speak what you want to see, not what you're afraid of. Your voice is a wand. Use it with wisdom. 3. Take daily aligned action. Big goals are achieved through small, repeated steps. You don't have to conquer the mountain today, but you must take a step. Make the call. Send the email. Write the page. Record the video. Stretch your limits. Every action is a vote for your future. 4. Practice inner stillness. Noise is everywhere. The world is loud, but your power is found in silence. Take 5 minutes a day to breathe, to listen, to reconnect with the you behind the roles, the work, the goals. That stillness, it's where wisdom lives. End of 5. Surround yourself with growth. Remember, your environment is a mirror. Make sure it reflects your vision. Hang around people who dream big, people who challenge you, people who clap when you win and when you grow. If they don't grow you, outgrow them. Let me tell you about Ray. Ray was just an ordinary man with a dream to build a business that changed lives. No fancy degree, no rich connections, no safety net, just a heart full of hunger and a mind full of Atkinson's principles. Every morning, he read affirmations. He visualized his success. He wrote down his intentions. He worked, even when tired. He persisted, even when ignored. And slowly, people started to notice. Clients came. Opportunities opened. Confidence grew. Within 3 years, Ray was earning over $100,000 annually. Not because of luck, but because of living the secret. And so can you. But here's the truth most won't tell you. There's no finish line. Success isn't something you win once. It's something you renew every day. Every time you choose faith over fear, you're successful. Every time you show up when it's hard, you're successful. Every time you honor your word, your vision, your values, you are already living success. And as Atkinson said, the successful man is he who is success, conscious, who acts, feels, and lives success. So don't just chase the results. Become the source. You are not here to merely exist. You are here to rise, to create, to lead, to shine. And now, you have the blueprint, the mindset, the laws. What happens next is on you. Reflection questions. What success principle resonated with you the most, and why? How will you live success this week, even in small ways? What identity do you need to fully step into to become who you were born to be? Life advice. Don't wait for life to crown you with success. Crown yourself daily, with clarity, with courage, with action. Because success is not a reward. It's a rhythm. It's a choice. It's a state of mind that creates everything else. And now you know the secret. The only question left is, will you live it? Final chapter. Live the secret. Become the success. Take a deep breath. You made it. You didn't just listen to the secret of success. You walked through it. You wrestled with it. You felt it. And if you're anything like me, something inside you has shifted. Maybe it was the moment you realized your thoughts were creating your future. Maybe it was the story of someone who persisted when everyone else gave up. Maybe it was the quiet nudge in your chest whispering, "This time I will not quit." Whatever it was, hold on to it. Don't let this be just another audiobook you finish and forget. Let this be a line in the sand. The moment you stopped waiting, the moment you stopped doubting, the moment you chose to rise. Because you don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You don't need someone else to come save you. You need a decision. And if no one's told you this lately, let me be the first. You are capable. You are worthy. You are ready. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. It matters that you start. It matters that you continue. It matters that you believe. You've now learned how to build discipline. Focus your mind. Control your emotions. Align your energy. And take consistent, courageous action. That is the formula. That is the secret. And now it's yours. So here's what I want you to do next. Pause this video, grab a notebook, and answer this question with everything in your heart. If I truly lived like success was mine already, what would I do next? Then go do that. Not tomorrow. Today. Because you are not the same person who pressed play. You are stronger, clearer, more committed than ever before. And if this message resonated with you, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you care about. Post it on your socials. Rewatch the chapters that spoke to your soul. Let's spread this movement. Let's remind people that they don't need to beg for success. They can become it right now. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. This channel is your home for deep, emotional, powerful self-improvement audiobooks like this one. We've got more timeless wisdom coming. More life-changing scripts. More tools to help you rise into the person you already are on the inside. So join the tribe. Stay connected. And remember, you are not behind. You are not broken. You are not invisible. You are just getting started. This is your time. This is your chapter. This is your secret of success. And now that you know it, there's only one thing left to do. Live it. I'm proud of you. Until next time, stay focused, stay powerful, and above all, stay you. Audiobook world, where stories become power. Subscribe now. Tab here.